Hey YouTube, Zach Guy here. I'm going to do things just a tad different. Today I want to talk to you about a knife that I enjoy. It is the Victorinox Pro Hunter. Now this is a change for Victorinox with this knife is that they came out, it's a single blade, has the one-handed opening, but it is a lockback, which is a departure from what they've normally done. And again, it is strictly a single blade. Now, let's look at it a little bit closer. Now, as you can see, it is this particular model that I have has a black scratch resistant scale, and if we look close, you see the Swiss cross embedded in the handle. And instead of a tang stamp, the stamp for it, the Victorinox stamp, hopefully you can see that, is right there by the thumb hole, and then nothing on the back. Give a size comparison on this. As several people may know watching my channel, one of my favorite knives is the Buck 110, and they're both comparatively the same size. Now the Victorinox Pro Hunter weighs in at 162.5 grams, which is about 5.75 ounces. The Buck 110 comes in at 7.5 ounces, so it's quite a bit heavier. Now, when I first got into collecting Victorinox knives, using Victorinox knives, I always said that if they ever came out with a knife similar to the Buck 110, I would get it in a heartbeat. Well, I did. I've had this knife for I want to say about 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, and I've used it off and on, going camping, hunting, and so on. They first came out, they were first made available in around April of 2013, and like I said before, it's the first Victorinox with a lockback design. The construction is steel liners, and hopefully you can see that in there, the steel liners on either side, and back spring. And then it has 4mm pins at either end under the scale, and a center pin right around here of 3mm for the lock to rotate on. Now, some of the other dimensions on it: closed, it's 130mm, 5.25 inches. The blade is 97mm, which is 3 7/8 inch, fully opened from end to end there, as you can see. Is 226mm, which comes out to just at 9 inches, and the width of it is 20mm, which is about 3/4 of an inch. This is also thinner than the Buck 110, and the blade thickness is 1/8 of an inch, which is about 4mm, and it has the hollow synthetic handles. They also have wooden handle version, and they have an orange handle version, basically the same knife. Now, I have seen some literature saying that the blade steel is different on this than a normal Victorinox. I haven't been able to find out what type of steel it is, but I'm thinking it's pretty much the same. It is a bead blast finish on it, satin finish, in a Scandi edge with the drop point blade. Pretty handy knife. I've used it several times going camping, hiking, and so on. It's a handy knife to have around. Weighs a little bit. It's kind of big to carry in the pocket, and that's why we have the canvas rubberized pouch with the Velcro on it. Kind of cool about the pouch is that you have the loop going through here so you can carry it horizontally, and then you also have a regular belt loop that you can carry it on vertically. And one cool thing here that I really like is that the belt loop can be opened up to where you can take it off your belt without having to take your belt off to get to it. And got a little bit of a lanyard here to pull to open up. Goes in there. And try something here. Nope, same thing. The only drawback for me on this holster pouch is the Velcro here. When I'm wearing it under a regular t-shirt, there's no problems. But if I'm wearing it on my belt and I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and I have my shirt tucked into my pants and I'm wearing a sweatshirt, the inside of the sweatshirt and some cloth materials on a couple of my jackets that I have get stuck to the Velcro. And really, that's the only complaint I have about it. And like I said, I have used this several times on several trips. You know, whittling sticks, making tent pegs, and so on. Stick to cook a hot dog on, or just to use to stir into the can of stew that I'm cooking. It's a handy outdoors knife, and like I said, very comparable to the Buck 110. Much lighter, and I think much more durable. And like I said, I've had this since 1973. This is going to outlast me and go to one of my kids. So will this one, and it'll go to one of my kids. So I hope you enjoyed this little review of the Victorinox Hunter PRO. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And remember, always be prepared.